Dorsey with her. No, I'm sorry. I meant to say two. No.
That's as much.
I know. That's exactly it.
Like, if anyone on it?
Yep.
Is that for the fine reason?
Yeah. Check 1 2 2 1 2.
All right. Sound great.
I know what you say.
Dude, they had some.
Yeah, comfortable. Yeah, they couldn't find anyone. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna look so much better with the lights.
It's just hard to get. There's not natural lighting here.
It's so like.
It's looking kind of greenish.
Yeah.
That shitty fluorescent light.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because even the natural light that's coming through has something that's changing the color a little bit.
Yeah.
He just wasn't polished. Yeah. He'd worked on it. Yeah. So
You have to know more.
Folks, they're just doing one last briefing to make sure we have all the updated numbers, and then everyone will be out in a second.
Thank you. Yeah, I can. But sounds good now.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
That worked. Or it might just be provided for free.
My GM at our meeting this morning was like, "You guys use like hand warmers or
Yeah.
shoe warmers?" And like all of it.
I think it's secret cabinet ready for it. No warmers.
Somebody brought like a spare pair of like snow pants, like light snow pants for winter coverage.
Yeah.
No one cleaned it. It's just been sitting in the photog room. I don't know who brought it in.
Right.
Maybe over Saturday or for Monday.
Yeah, you guys didn't call them this week.
I'm doing morning.
Monday morning.
They want somebody to cover Sunday.
Yeah, we're
They're kind of like pointing at me a little bit, but it's enough to. It's enough to.
I was thinking.
well, when you have two so
Something during a series that coverage on.
Yeah.
It's like we just supporting them as a way of make things work.
Right.
We're never gonna get that from it.
Hey, you overspend costs higher. So it always goes that road.
No, I
Yeah, but it costs us more when I get burnt out and quit, and they gotta hire somebody that sucks.
Right. I don't
Or maybe it
know.
doesn't suck, but
Yeah.
doesn't work there for a while.
Well, and like,
And not like say sign on bonuses.
it's just the way that the team goes. Whatever.
At least with your station and a lot of these other stations, there's like an actual news organization behind it. We got nothing. We're a charter like telecommunication company. So
Profit.
well, it's just the news organization isn't like their that's not like their
main.
big thing. It's just about selling cable subscriptions, giving people internet and stuff like that. So when they're like, "Oh, we don't want to like," and they just don't want to like snap a finger. They're like, "Oh, we don't really care."
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're working on saving money and
Exactly.
That's what's nice with Albert. I have So I have frustrations with that, but at the same time, like, they make so much money on satellite stuff that they do that they're like, yeah, we'll just throw a little bit extra at you guys.
Yeah. Well, you guys make money.
Right.
You guys are probably one of the better affiliates.
So.
Don't look at us.
From my experience,
Don't look at us.
Yeah.
I've dealt with Sinclair.
Don't look at us. Don't look at us.
Well, that's
Please.
the thing too. Hubbard does have station. So it's much easier to like
Yeah.
provide that direct
Line.
communication. Yeah, like our chief call. Yeah. Get to the bottom. Like, how about this? We have scout hunter very often. Yeah, he does weekends and nights a couple days a week. But we're going to make an offer to somebody because we're interested. So, yeah.
I was gonna say sorry for leaving.
It does, but I mean,
Or like,
it still sucks to lose him. Like, I like the guy, but
yeah.
it's nice that we'll have someone pretty quickly.
That's huge. I know. It's like bizarre to hear about like hiring somebody before they like even left their position.
Yeah. And it's always a little awkward, but at least like he's been at the time for a better opportunity. It's not like
totally normal.
it's not training to replacement.
In the 2 years,
Yeah, what's your plan?
we'll see. But I don't know, man. Sinclair is tough.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I'll keep it at that. I think
Are
that's
you-
what it said.
Are you local over there? Are you from the area?
Nah, I'm from a long now.
Yeah, no.
Very nice. But we'll see what happens.
This is a nice middle ground.
Yeah.
Big enough market.
Yeah, exactly.
You could definitely get your feet wet here, do some good work.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then move on to wherever you want to go.
Yeah. I think for me too, so I do like part-time sports, part-time this, like I do news back home, but if I found a full-time sports director, like you know, this, that would not be bad. Yeah.
Would that be your preference?
Yeah, sports news. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the whole fun of the process.
Right.
Just figuring out stuff.
So you're 2-year contract. So
Next month. Yep.
Oh, next month though.
how do you guys? Do you have to report as well? So
I like to share with those.
You came after one of the producers that left their contract once. But she like burned them hard. Went on to another station.
That's the thing. We've had a few people who did the last few years before their contract is up, and the way you go about it is so significant.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful. And they don't usually care if you're leaving agencies.
Right.
I mean, as long as you're not going to like another news station.
Right. Yeah, you're a couple of months in.
Oh well, that's like producer.
Right.
Even this producer like left the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Like last month, we got an offer to go down to New York City. And Sinclair wouldn't decide like the release. So because the non-compete, like they couldn't give her the job offer basically. And my impression was that she went about it in a very good way, but they still just were basically like, no, we're not doing that. And so she's like, okay, I'm just gonna leave and like not work in news. And like I'm still gonna leave. I'm just not gonna go to this place. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, fuck it.
yeah, it's crazy. So sometimes the competitor, sometimes they'll buy out the contract. That's always a
Yeah.
Depends on. Every station's different, and no one wants to pay money anymore.
Well, yeah.
So.
You gotta be careful. Yeah.
Check.
Okay, we're ready to roll. Are we good? Everybody's here. So good morning, and thank you all so very much for being here. I have a whole host of colleagues and partners standing with me that I would like to acknowledge. And starting out, I want to thank my colleague in government, our county executive, Dan McCoy, for being here. Thank you so much. From our city leadership, we have our Commissioner DGS, Commissioner Panunzio, Sergio Panunzio. We also have our Executive Deputy Commissioner, Frank Zioli. We have our Acting Commissioner of Water for the Water Department, Bill Simcoe. We have our Fire Chief, Chief Joseph Gregory. And we also have, representing our Albany Police Department, we have Melissa Morey. From our Coast Department, we have our new Director, Valerie Scott. And we have some of our community partners, National Grid is represented, and we have Jim Salango. And from CDTA, we have the CEO, Frank Anakara. I wanted to make sure I got that right, and I hope I got that right. Also want to thank our city employees who are here and represented. Our employees, as well as our partners, are already working to ensure that we are keeping the residents in the city of Albany safe, and that's a very important thing to note, especially given some of the concerns that have been raised. We received calls to City Hall about the upcoming inclement weather, and so proactively, we all are here to send a clear message to our residents that the city of Albany is ready. And so we want people to stay calm and know that our city government is here to work for them. County government is here to work for them, and all of our partners are already prepping and planning to keep people safe. This weekend, the Northeast is gearing up for our first true winter weather event of the season. And thanks to the hardworking people behind me and on the ground, our workforce, we are prioritizing public safety. Here in Albany, we are expecting to experience really frigid temperatures as low as 25 degrees below zero. These are extremely dangerous temperatures for all of our residents, including our most vulnerable, as well as our pets. In addition to the extreme frigid and cold temperatures, we are expecting significant snowfall and accumulation starting Sunday and lasting overnight into Monday. Just to give an idea of what we anticipate the snow will start Sunday at around 10 a.m. And this snow will end, the snowfall will end roughly, we're thinking Monday at 6 p.m. based on the data and the information that we have been receiving. What we want residents to know is that this will be a long duration of snowfall, and so this will not be heavy snow at one point in time. And so for some of our residents who are panicking, thinking that we're going to have a heavy snowfall, what we have come to learn and understand is that this will be a long duration of light snow, but this snowfall will hit its peak around 6 to 7 p.m. on Sunday. So we want residents to be mindful that Sunday we anticipate snowfall hitting its peak. It could accumulate an inch an hour, and we are looking at 10.5 to 18 inches of snow before it's all done. So that's a lot of snow. And in that, we want our residents to take precaution. We are asking residents, if possible, please stay indoors unless you have to go out. This is the time to get your milk, your eggs, your bread. But please avoid, if you can, being out, especially during those peak hours. We are also asking some of the drivers, if you don't have to commute, please stay off the roads if you can. And if you must travel, please take extreme precaution. Make sure you are dressed in layers. And also, if you are traveling, make sure you have blankets in the car. And be mindful of your pets, bringing pets inside under these extreme temperatures. We have received information that will be available on our city website from some of our community partners, from organizations like Hattis and RISE. Those organizations work with our most vulnerable, our immigrant and refugee communities. For some of them, this will be their first snow, and we want them to be equipped and prepared to deal with an Albany winter, and as well as our unhoused community during these very difficult times when we have extreme weather. I am always thinking about our homeless population, and so we will have information about how to ensure that we're keeping our most vulnerable safe. With that, I am going to call up Commissioner Sergio Pronunzio to talk about how DGS is preparing for the weather.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is going to be our first significant snowfall of the year, so we want to be assuring our public that we are ready. We already started working, believe it or not, on Wednesday. Started preparing our vehicles, our fleet, and also we started pre-treating our roads. So all of our roads are pre-treated for the expectation of the snowstorm. We have activated our inclement weather procedure, which will begin on Sunday at 7 a.m. Our department will be fully staffed and ready to go. As the mayor pointed out, 10 a.m. is the expected arrival of the first flurries. We have about 64 pieces of equipment. That's not including our contractors. That's only ourselves, which is a good number, which is about 98% of our fleet is ready to go. We're waiting for 2 trucks to be ready by this afternoon or early tomorrow morning, so we'll have 100% of our fleet ready to go. We have several also contractors deployed as well to cover the entire city. Every neighborhood will have at least 2 plows and heavy equipment, a piece of heavy equipment. The entire city will be covered in combination contractors and city trucks. We focus on the primary road. That's what our snow plan. That's a plan that's created in cooperation with all the agencies that are here, our partners, including the hospitals and including parking authority. We identified primary roads, secondary roads, and tertiary roads. So our goal throughout the peak of the storm is to maintain the primary roads open. That's so an emergency vehicle can get someone in an emergency. Fire engine can go down at least 1 block away from the emergency. The secondary roads are those that connect the 2 primary roads, and then we go to tertiary roads, and then every other road down. So your road will be done. It might not be done in the sequence that you will like, but it is, our sequence is designed with our partners to make sure public safety is prioritized. We also have a forecast that's looking to storm accumulating, as the mayor said, with sometimes around overnight to be an inch an hour, so that's significant. That hinders our visibility and our operations a little bit. We ask our residents to stay off the road. We ask our residents to talk to each other. If you have a driveway, if you can place your vehicle into your neighborhood's driveway to get it off the street, that would help us tremendously. Our plows are very big in size, and sometimes with the snow banks coming on, we can't really go down the street without having some challenges. So we ask residents, if you don't have to be at work on Monday, if you can work from home on Monday, please do so. And ask your neighbor and check on your neighbor as well. And also ask for them if you can park your car in their driveway. We also We don't expect to call it emergency snow operations. However, we will do that and we'll reassess after the storm. In Albany, it is a tradition that we wait for the storm to end. That's when we reassess our conditions and then we will call for a storm emergency. But if you're interested in how to discover that, you can always look at the city website, as the mayor said, or also call 518-476-SNOW, our snow hotline, so that you can be updated when it's on emergency. After a storm, we'll focus on cleaning our parks and city residents. What I'm asking every resident is to be patient. Every road is going to be done. It's going to be, as the mayor said, a long stretching storm. Our sanitation crews will be out there on Monday. The sanitation routes might be a little bit slow because of the condition of the roads and the condition of the weather, but your solid waste will be picked up as scheduled. We also have a full crew here. I'm confident that we are stocked salt. I know there's a rumor out there there's a salt shortage. We don't have that here. We will continue to work and monitor the storm as it progresses or it regresses, as we said. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to inform our residents. We ask you to be patient. The street will be done on a sequence, and also your garbage will be picked up on Monday as scheduled. So it might be a little slow. Also, I want to preempt that there will be piles on corners. We know that, especially for the amount of snow that we're receiving. We are planning after the snowstorm ends to remove that to make accessibility available for cross. But there might be 1 or 2 day delay, or as we go through the thing. But we will clean out those mounds as we go. We definitely don't want them to be ice. Thank you very much. Thank you all partners, and God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to acknowledge, we have Valerie from our Coast Department, just to make the point that in the event our residents are experiencing issues with their heat not working in their home, in their apartments, they're working with landlords and the issue is not rectified, we would like for residents to contact the non-emergency number. That's 438-4000, again, 438-4000. We want to avoid residents using the stove to heat their apartments, so we ask that they contact that number if they're having challenges with their heat. I'm now going to bring up our Acting Commissioner, Bill Simcoe, from our Water Department.
Thank you, Eric. So with this cold temperature, people need to be mindful about protecting their plumbing. Make sure if you've got any outside hose bit that you've secured it, drained it, covered it up. If you've got areas that might be unheated with some plumbing, try to get some heat or open some cabinets. Do what you can to keep things from freezing. If you needed to call the water department, call the dispatch number 518-434-5322. And if we need to respond, we often have a lot of our service leaks and water main leaks in this extreme cold weather. That's the number to call. That will get to either a dispatcher or we'll get to our on-call foreman. Please call us if you need to. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll now hear from our partner from CDTA, Frank Anacaro.
Thank you, Mayor. So CDTA is prepared for the storm. We are running full scheduled service, but as you can imagine, with the severity of the storm, everyone should look at cdta.org, our Navigator app, or our social media feeds for there will be curtailments in service when needed, if needed, and there may be scheduled delays. I think to really resonate what the mayor said is, stay off the roads if you don't need to be out there. Use us. We'll be out there. We'll be there to help transport folks where they need to go. We're working closely with the county and the city to be in coordination. This is really important because we need to allow DGS and the first responders for easy access to these roads. But again, I encourage you all to look at our websites, our social media, and we'll be there to get you there. And then finally, due to these extreme temperatures, we will be issuing a code blue, which allows folks, unhoused folks, to get to shelters fare-free. So anyone who needs that, when you get on our services, just mention that's where you're going and what you need, and you will be allowed access free. So thank you, and appreciate the partnership.
Thank you so very much. We'll now hear from our Fire Chief, Chief Gregory.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, as the capital region prepares for this potential major snow and cold weather event this weekend, as always, your Albany Fire Department will be at our full staffing level. We do have the ability to implement our inclement weather operational plan should the need arise. We'd like to pass along some helpful tips and reminders to keep in mind during this period. Charge your cell phones ahead of time and have flashlights, blankets, and extra clothing ready in case the power goes out. Make sure your house number is visible for emergency responders. Keep walkways and stairs clear from snow to allow easier access to enter your home. One thing we always stress, do your best to clear any fire hydrants on or around your property. That helps our fire department initiate our operation in a timely manner. If using a space heater, move any flammable objects at least 3 feet away from the unit, and always turn the unit off when you leave the room. As the mayor had mentioned, do not use a gas oven to heat your residence, especially in the event that your heat goes out. This presents a significant carbon monoxide threat inside the residence. This is a good time always pre-storm to check your smoke alarms and your carbon monoxide detectors. As we always say, safety is no accident. In the event of an emergency, however, please dial 911. As we always say, your Albany Fire Department is ready. So stay safe, everyone, and we'll be there if you need us. Thank you, Mayor.
Next, we'll hear from our Deputy Chief from the Police Department, Melissa.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. I am going to mirror Chief Gregory's message of public safety. We are a 24/7, 365-day-a-year operation, and there is no caveat for inclement weather. We are adequately staffed, and we are prepared to handle any emergencies that arise. We also have proactive plans in place for snow removal to both of our stations, should anybody need to visit us in our physical areas. We are working with our community advocacy response team. Actually today, started doing proactive outreach to our unhoused populations to try and get them some accommodations prior to the snowfall. I will give you the non-emergency number again, should anybody have a non-emergency issue that arises. It is 518-438-4000. You can call that number and we can direct you to the appropriate public safety services that you may need. And as always, if anybody has an emergency that arises, utilize 911 and the police department will be ready to serve you in any public safety capacity that you may need. Thank you.
Thank you. So a few additional resources from the county before I bring up our county executive, and thank you for your partnership. I mentioned HADIS, the Homeless and Travelers Aid Society. They are calling a Code Blue Extreme Alert for Friday, January 23rd, Saturday, January 24th, and Sunday, January 25th, as well as Monday, January 26th. Again, a Code Blue Extreme Alert. This is due to the extreme temperatures that we are expecting that will go down into the single digits. Code Blue, for those not clear, Code Blue is a low-demand humanitarian cold weather program designed to reduce barriers for homeless people seeking shelter. It is called when the real field temperature is expected to be 32 degrees or less, including wind chill. Code Blue Extreme is an extension of this. called when real field temps drop to 10 degrees or less. Homeless residents of the city and the county in need of shelter can walk into the Capital City Rescue Mission at 259 South Pearl Street. That's the Capital Rescue Mission at 259 South Pearl Street, and Safe Haven Drop-In Center at 26 South Swan Street. Again, Safe Haven Drop-In Center at 26 South Swan Street. People in need of other shelter options can call the Haddis Homeless Hotline, and that number is 518-463-2124. 518-463-2124. This information will be also made available on our website. Joseph's House Outreach Services offer emergency provisions and shelter navigation for the unsheltered and unhoused during cold blue emergencies. And that number is 518-495-0663. If you know someone who is in need, if you see someone laying on the street, sitting outside, Joseph's House can be of assistance. And again, this information will be on our website. With that, I'm going to call up County Executive Dan McCoy.
Thank you, Mayor, and I appreciate the partnership. It's been 23 days in administration, feels like 23 years. She hit the ground running with her team, and look at the extraordinary things that are going on now, and the coordination of this storm. She's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So that's Mayor, yes, we'll make sure we work with you. But it takes partnerships to get things done, and I want to thank her for having this press conference. Saves you all from Huntington too. A little bit different things out in the hill towns versus DGS in the city. My only issue out there is the roads you're using, they're open, there's no traffic, there's no cars on the side. Mailboxes. I remember when I took out over as county executive and I go into our DPW and I'm like, do we sell mailboxes? Why is there like 80 of them here on the ground? They're like, we got to put them back up in the springtime. So we hit a lot of mailboxes. That being said, though, I mean, the city's a little bit trickier. They got small streets, cars on both sides, so people be patient, be kind. It takes time. It's not easy to navigate on a good day around the city, let alone a snowstorm. So, we are in the county, we're tracking this. One of the things we do in a partnership with the Sheriff's Department, they ride along with their DPW workers in the wintertime so they can get to calls because it bogs them down in their cars trying to answer calls, or you can only imagine a driveway's back so far, they're going to get stuck. So we just plow them the way in, take care of the EMS call, get them out of there. But it takes coordination, partnerships, working together. And I do want to thank the mayor for leadership for doing this. We will be going remote in the county on Monday because of the size and magnitude of storm that's coming. If Doppler weather is wrong again, I'm going to apply for your jobs because, usually we wait to the end, but in this case, the governor called a state of emergency. We usually do in the hill towns, so I limit traffic because it makes it easier to clean the roads. And what the mayor said, to echo her words, please stay off the roads. You don't have to be. You know the storm's coming. Get everything out of the way today and tomorrow. Hunker in on Sunday and Monday. The DGS Commissioner Sergio was saying, look, it makes it easier if you stay off the roads. And, look, we'll get through this. You got to be patient. You got, like the chief said, you got calls, they have to do EMS and get there. We have essential workers. It's not our first rodeo like everything else, so we send our DGS workers from our nursing home to pick workers up because we can't shut the nursing home down. We can't shut the sewer district down just like police and fire, 911, dispatchers. They have to show up and they need to be relieved. So in the coordination to try to make it easy to identify things. Help us, help you, because at the end of the day, the better you cooperate with us and stay out of the way of the men and women doing their job out there, the easier we can get through this, clean it up, and get everything back open again so you can come out and enjoy the great sleigh riding, which, the DGS Commissioner will take you on at Lincoln Park with his little alarm going, which, we always say the fire service and police, they all want to be police and fire. Thank you.
Thank you, County Exec. So in closing, just want to thank our workforce. We have some of our frontline employees here standing with us, and we'll have the men and women of our departments out, and I just want to thank them in advance for their hard work and dedication to our residents. Stay safe. The city of Albany is prepared, is ready, and we will be working extremely hard to keep everyone safe. We'll now take questions from the media.
May I ask you questions? Does any of you crack down on like delinquent landlords for 5 years, keeping their sidewalks clear? I know like St. Clair Fix is filled with people commenting about ice problems on sidewalks and how landlords or residents aren't clearing them.
So the city code requires that the residents or the property owners actually remove the snow, shovel the snow, remove the ice from the sidewalks adjacent to the property, okay, within a 24-hour period of the end of the snowfall. So we're going to have crews out sometime Monday, right, maybe early Tuesday, depending on, we'll give it the 24 hours, and then we will start clearing the sidewalks, and the homeowner will receive a bill for the service and a fine for not cleaning. So we do ask everybody to please clear your sidewalks for the full length of the sidewalk. The wheelchair has to be able to get through, and then you can avoid that. So within 24 hours of the end of the stuff.
And I have one other. Last year there was a lot of homeless deaths with the cold here, a lot of people freezing to death in the city of Albany and just the county in general. Does the city or county have any plan to, I know the bus offers rides for people to close blue shelters, but are police departments doing anything to maybe transport people they see in bus stops or on sidewalks and roads?
And I'll turn it over to some of my colleagues here, but what I will say is that what we're doing to stay ahead of that is coordinating with our nonprofit organizations, our homeless shelters. Even calls have been made to our libraries to ensure that we are preventing death. And so the coordination and communication is critical. That's how we prevent death. But in addition, I'll defer to some of my colleagues if there are additional comments in response to the question.
Yes, as the mayor said, preparation is key when dealing with unhoused populations and the risk of severe cold. While the snowfall for the storm is significant, a cold blue situation isn't anything new for us. It's something that we deal with throughout the year. It just doesn't get it's not as published just because it's business as usual on upstate New York winters. So, as I said, our community advocacy response team is out today doing that proactive outreach. If anybody has a specific person that they are concerned about, I would suggest that they call. I would ask them to call and do that proactive outreach now so that they can get a plan in place knowing that this is going to be something that they're going to have to deal with. But yes, as the storm unfolds, the police officers are going to be in, we're going to be working. So it is business as usual, and we will evaluate any condition as it arises, and anybody that we see throughout the weekend, we're certainly going to ensure that they are safe throughout the storm.
And I just want to emphasize some points that were already made. CDTA, free rides to our unhoused neighbors who need to get to shelters as a point of transportation, and then also Joseph's House Outreach Services. They offer navigation services to someone who may be homeless who needs to get to a shelter. So acknowledging, in addition to what's been said, there are other community partners who have systems in place that can help our unhoused neighbors.
Hi, Mayor. I was just going to ask, do you have any communication with nonprofits in the area to see if they'll have capacity for all of them?
We have talked to our nonprofits not about capacity, but more so about what services they have in place, who should be contacted. To be honest with you, I think the need always outweighs the services that we have. You hear constantly there's just not enough beds. So we know that is out there. But with that, what I have always seen with our nonprofit colleagues, even thinking about our hospitals, people stretch beyond capacity when people are in need, and that's the beautiful thing about the city of Albany. We are resource rich, and our nonprofits, regardless of whether it's the COVID-19 pandemic, the asylum seeker crisis, our nonprofits really are punching above weight each and every day, and they expand as the need expands. And we are here to support them as they are on the front lines doing a lot of the heavy lifting with some of our most vulnerable.
Yeah, it was mentioned before that within 24 hours of the storm, people are advised to clear their sidewalks. Does that rule apply to seniors? And if so, how do you ensure their safety, particularly for those who have trouble walking?
If you want to jump back in, but we try to give people the space they need. So if somebody came to us and said, I can't go to the sidewalk for a reason, we would give them a little extra time, but the whole idea is that you need safe passages for pedestrians, including people in wheelchairs and kids going to school. So, we will take that into consideration, but if there's other resources, we do ask them to reach out to some of the non-for-profits. We also have groups where we're calling them the shovel brigades, right? You've got groups, neighborhood groups that will go out and clear sidewalks, and we will give them tools that they need, like shovels and give them salt and things of that nature. If a group needs that, there's on the website, there's a way to get that stuff so they can go out to it.
And I'll just emphasize the first point that Deputy Commissioner made about our seniors and even our residents with disabilities. We give grace. And I've experienced it firsthand when someone with a medical condition has had a parking ticket or unable to shovel snow. The first thing is to give some grace, especially if there's some challenges prohibiting them from being able to adhere to that policy right away.
I have one more actually. Just how is the city and the county working just with the first responders, just to ensure their safety when they're responding to emergency situations at this time?
We give them the same advice that we give every other person. Avoid unnecessary travel, take the conditions into consideration when weighing your appropriate response to any calls that we get. But as we've acknowledged a couple times up here already, we are emergency services. The men and women of the police and fire and EMS and others, they don't have the luxury to stay home. And we are thankful, as the mayor graciously acknowledged, we're thankful for their service, that they're out there during times like this. And while we can obviously always count on their response, we just tell them to be careful as well and do what they can to be prepared.
One of the things that we do at DGS is we have a class every year that every employee goes through, and one of the things that we emphasize is to dress warm, bring a change of clothes. You're probably going to fall and slip and fall and get wet. We also ask you to make sure you take your medication with you, and make sure you travel here. You're not good to us if you're in an accident or in a ditch. So make sure you travel here safely, and we usually provide water and some snacks here. So that because a lot of stores close during midnight shift. So we try to keep our employees as well prepared as possible and comfortable as possible under the extreme condition, of course. But Chief, you want
Well, just from the fire perspective, we have a tier command system. So our department, our officers are trained to monitor their members as well as members of the public. So upon return to quarters, we have our lieutenants and captains that monitor their companies, with battalion chiefs that oversee the platoon. So again, it's a self-monitoring system that we have within our department, but it's a tier command system. So we're always looking out, we're always looking at safety is a priority in the fire department, as in all public service, police department, fire department. So we monitor each other. We work together very closely with the police department, with DGS, to monitor each other as well as from the perspective of the public monitoring.
Thank you. And City Hall will be open for some of our employees who work in City Hall. We do allow flexible schedules in terms of work from home for those who can't get into the building. But City Hall will be open, taking into consideration some employees may not be able to get in, which is totally understandable given the circumstances. Other questions? With that, thank you all so very much. I want to thank all of our partners here, and we, I'm not going to say are looking forward to this weekend, but we are prepared for the weather ahead. So thank you again for being here.